another episode of The Profile. I'm Gary Dunn, and in the hot seat tonight, it's very hot, is a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Williams. How are you, Jim?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Very privileged to be here, and thank you to being on your honours list, if that's what you...
Well, it's not mine.
Is this the famous seat where everybody else used to sit?
Yeah. Look, they've all farted in there.
You cleaned it.
Look, I don't have any decision who gets on the show. I just interview whoever they bring along. So, you know.
It's not what you told me earlier. Anyway, we'll take that bit out.
Look, disclaimer is there is no way we're going to do this interview without Jim saying fuck, right? So, so if you're offended by that word, then turn off now. Go to the next episode. So, Jim.
Yes.
Where were you born?
I was brought just south of London in a place called Addington Palace. Rather posh.
Very posh place.
Very posh.
Yeah. What happened?
I come to Australia in 1968.
Wow.
Got off the boat, throwing snowballs at Southampton. And come here, and I think that was 1968. And that was January, and I think it was the hottest week still on record when we got here. And they just built this brand new terminal in Fremantle.
Yeah.
But there was already a boat in there.
Yeah.
So you see these old black and white films of the 40s and 50s, where all the families are all in the big sheds all waiting. That was us with a sign, you know. Yeah, welcome to Australia. You know?
So, what instruments do you play, Jim?
Drums. Well,
Another
I tried
drummer.
to. I mean,
Another drummer. This show's just full of drummers.
Well,
the producer's a drummer.
Well, they tend to be the more, interesting together guys, you know.
Really?
You know, well, when you look at, the old Silver Fox, Johnny Goldsmith, he's done all right, you know what I mean?
So, drums.
Yes.
And so what was the light bulb moment for you in your life where you went, I'm going to play drums? What
Well,
started
my
that?
father used to play drums.
Yep.
My father used to play drums. And when I was a kid, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10, used to get mum's biscuits lids but it could never work out where to get a cymbal. So I used to hang it off the light bulb, and the thing used to fly across the room. Yeah.
How old were you then, you reckon?
Oh, 7 or 8, I
Yeah.
suppose. I don't know, only a young fella.
So you're just destined for it.
Well, I don't know. Sort of, you can make a drum kit, you couldn't make a guitar or a piano.
Yeah.
So, and then come to the lucky country and got off the boat and got a job working in this Morley Park box and case factory.
All right.
Where they used to make all the boxes for the fruit markets, And these great big pine logs used to come in, and they used to chop them all down to little planks and make the boxes. One of the guys who used to work there, he was a singer in a band. So he introduced me to some other guys, and I said, yeah, I've always wanted to play drums. So we jumped in the back of his panel van on a Saturday morning, I think it was, went down and bought a kit of drums from wherever it was, I don't know. I think it was a set of Yamaha for $1.99 on special.
Cliff Music?
No, that was the second
later,
kit.
sorry.
That was the second kit that I bought. And that was on I think it's Saturday afternoon, Saturday night when I done the first gig.
Wow.
I thought, well, I don't know, we'll work it out as we go along.
Same as what we did today.
Yeah, same as what we do today. We'll work it out. Well done, Charlie, well done.
Yeah, it's Spot, actually.
And wonder why you'd call it Spot. You're getting something original, Charlie or...
I think Phil named it Spot.
Did he?
So,
Yeah, that'd be right.
Yeah. So, okay, 1968 was your first band.
Yeah.
What was the band called and who was in it?
What would that been called? I think it was called Downtown Union, and it had a bass player called Graham Gregson.
Yep.
The guitarist, a guy called Tommy Ormott, he's now passed.
Yeah.
And myself.
Yeah. So 1973, Axis. We've gone from 68 to 73 pretty quickly.
Yeah, something like that. I can't be sure of the exact dates, but yeah, usual story that they, had an advert in the Sunday Times, drummer wanted and all that sort of stuff, and rung up and went down for an audition and got the gig, and yeah, there was a good...
Every Sunday you'd wake up really early,
get the Sunday, or get it...
Who wants a guitar player?
No, you get it Saturday night, night, Yeah, and joined them guys and with them for 3 or 4 years. Lovely bunch of guys, and then I'm just trying to think.
Who was in the band, Axis?
Zorba was a keyboard player.
Wow.
Rick McInerney was the singer. Michael Porter was the bass player.
Wow.
The guitarist was Russell Adams.
All right.
And yeah, there was like a radio commercial band.
Yeah.
You know, nice harmonies like a lot of the bands were in them days. And then we were doing a show at the, I think it was the Ascot Tavern out in obviously Ascot. And we're all doing our little fluffy thing with our suits on and bow ties and that. And these couple of guys come in. It was like, you know, it was all families having dinners and that. And these couple of guys come in, oh, mate, like they come in the wrong place or what? Big beard, glasses and real, you know. So anyway, we had a break and when I sat down, I thought, well, no one's, anyway. So I went up and said g'day to them and how you going? And they said, oh, we're putting a band together. And Johnny Villani said that you might suit the band. I said, yeah, okay, all right, well, see you at Pinocchio's tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we tried every drummer in town, nothing's happening. And that was with Max Merritt's bass player, Yuck Harrison.
Right. Yeah.
And a guy called James Taylor. I think his nickname was Arge Taylor. He had a band in Sydney called, I think it was called the James Taylor Move with Windy Saddington, and I think he'd had enough. And anyway, he come over, he wanted to put a band together. So he knew Yuck was there somewhere, but Yuck was up in Port Adams, a pool shark, you know, making a living up. Anyway, we got hold of him.
Hustling.
Yeah, that's the word. Got him down, and then as soon as we had a bit of a hit, he just all gelled together. And but you know, playing rock and roll with those sorts of guys, mate, is like, oh, they know all them old, and things just happen, you know.
Yeah.
And so I felt quite sort of honoured to be play with guys like that. But the inevitable happened. It only lasted, you know, I don't know, 3 or 4 months or so or another. But what I learned playing with guys like that was awesome.
Yeah. So the last band you played in 1978, Chris Leary, Review?
Oh, no, that would have been Review, yeah. No, it wouldn't have been 78. It would have been a bit before then. That was a band called Review.
Good to see my producer's doing his job.
Well, that's right. He blamed you, so you can blame him.
Yeah. I'll blame him on air.
So, no, Review were a great, again, popular, well-established band. We've been around for a long time, doing all the right shows in the right places. And I think it might have been, again, old Johnny Villani was crewing for him.
Okay.
And my name was, anyway, I went for an audition and got the gig, and great bunch of guys. And that went for a fair while. You know, it was like other bands around, you know, Troubadours, Statesmen, all them sorts of, we were more the rough end of town. We were the Rolling Stones end of town, you know.
Yeah. You're looking like a Rolling Stone these days.
Oh, you like it, do you?
Yeah, I do.
You're sitting I thought I'd grow it back, look like a rock star again, you know.
And it's not one F word yet. I built you up at the beginning.
Well, you know, we haven't finished yet.
Okay. What was the first concert you went to, Jim?
First concert I went to, I think, was at Beatty Park. No, it wasn't. It was the Rolling Stones at the Wacker.
Oh, wow.
Rolling Stones at the Wacker. It was just a big stage. Not much more than a box on a stick, really. A couple of things on a scaffold plank. No roof, no lights, and sort of Jagger come out with a cricket bat. Whoa, and it was on for young and old. And I think that was the first one. Yeah. And you could hear it. That was at the Wacker. I think most people enjoyed it up in Vic Park there somewhere. And then the next one was at Beatty Park with Deep Purple. I think Deep Purple and Manfred Mann. And
I went to that one. Yeah.
I think
so
maybe
Shane
73,
I think.
Or Fatty Lumpkin. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. So what was the last concert you went to?
The last one? The last actual concert I went to? I've only ever paid for see one concert in my life. Not many people know that. Didn't pay to go and see the Rolling Stones. But I paid because I wanted it off the bucket list, was Billy Connolly. When he came over, I went and saw him at the Perth Arena.
Wee jobbies.
Yeah, wee jobbies, all right.
So the other side of your life, and what I know you mainly as, is a sound guy.
Yeah. I'll twiddle a few knobs and I don't really like, me personally, the name of like audio engineer. I think that's way above my head. I like the term maybe audioologist,
Audiologist. Wow.
whatever that means. But no, I just enjoy
It's posh for a mixer.
posh for being a wally. Yeah. No, yeah, I enjoy sort of mixing and that. I get on with the boys and we have a good laugh. I take the job very seriously, but I like to have a good laugh as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the first time I met you, I was at Observation City in Scarborough. I was filling in for a band, and they said, "Oh, don't play too loud. That
bastard up
guy
there.
over there, he's going to kill you if you do."
Probably.
Yeah.
And
I
you
survived.
went home. No, you went home.
Yeah. So, what year did you start mixing? What?
Seriously, for what I know, was about 2000.
Yeah.
I'd had the, it must have been around about 90s till about 2000. We had the, I started playing again. I got the phone call and, you know, so we had another go. But the Perth Blues Club, we had a house band there, which was a great house band, you know, Bobby Patient and some of the boys and that. And
Well, that's what started it, wasn't it?
No, it was a bit before that.
Yeah.
I think it was called Rick Steele's Beat the Blues Show.
Yeah, yeah.
I think from memory, and I was playing in that, and that basically went into the Perth Blues Club, yeah. And we messed around there for, I don't know, a year, 18 months or something.
Yeah.
Then we actually put like a proper
Yeah.
house band together, and we used to done that for 10 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, all the crew used to come down and get up and have a laugh and a joke, and all the international acts or national acts would back them and whatever. Then that finished, and just at the time, someone asked me, threw my hat in the ring, did I want to go and Slim Jim was looking for a mixer, and I thought, Slim who? Never heard of the guy, you know what I mean?
Who wasn't?
And
Slim.
hey, he may have lost a bit of weight lately, but you know he's still.
Well, he's slim
He's
now.
still all right, you know. And so anyhow, so I went and saw because my son was playing with Slim at the time.
Yeah.
And I was with him for about 6 or 7 years, all up. So I went and saw Slim and said, "Well, throw me some numbers," and he threw me some numbers. I thought, well, they look reasonable. So I went and saw you know, a couple of production companies and blah blah blah, and. Keith and Vin from Audex were very accommodating. They sold me a few bits and pieces, and I thought, come in, we'll have this back again in 6 months' time. They were very helpful, and you know, even lent me some boxes and bits and pieces. And Neil Campbell was very helpful, and I saw people like, you know, little Johnny Villani and Steve Crosby, Big Ray Mondo.
Yeah.
He literally hands-on helped me put it together. But
Ray
I went
Mondo.
and spoke to all the boys and said, well, and they all sort of said, don't do it. I thought, mate, let's give it a go. And we did, so I had a lot of sort of help from them and done it and put it all together.
And a lot of success as well.
Well, you know, I mean, you try, you can't please everybody, and there's always, you know, as long as you don't let the musicians get involved with the mix, you stand a chance.
I always say, who's mixing? And they go, Jim Williams. And I go, oh, great. Fantastic.
Yeah, I
love
know.
Jim. Love his sound.
I know, but I know your boss a bit better, so he takes care of stuff like that. Oh, pretty boy, love him.
Yeah. So what was the first band you mixed?
Slim Jim.
Really?
Mm.
And that went for how many years? 20 odd years, obviously.
No, that probably went for about, must have been close to 10 years.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Is that all? Really?
Yeah, well, 2000 up about 2010. And then we went a slightly different direction, but we'll leave that conversation for another day. And then it all came back, and here we are again on the tools, so to speak, sort of busting the old fella's kahunas, you know.
What's the most famous band you ever mixed, do you reckon?
Oh, it'd have to be probably Darren Reed, I suppose, you know what I mean?
How come he gets all mentions on this show?
Oh, well, he looks after me, you know. He tells me I'm back on the list, but I don't know how far down the bottom of the list, I don't know.
Off air, I'll let you know.
Dave Hole, I've done Dave Hole, enjoyed working with Dave. I mean, he's great.
Yeah.
Shane, I've done Shane's 30th anniversary tour in 2004.
Matt's a wonderful guy.
Yeah, lovely guy. Most of the guys are.
Yeah.
Most guys are pretty, you know, I mean, as we are tonight, we're reminiscing and carrying on, but you can't live in those times. You've got to actually move on. But, you know, it's nice to have a little bit of a get with the old boys every now and again.
And how did you find working with me, Jim?
Working with you. Next question.
I think I'm just swearing.
Next question. What, with the Akadaka thing or with Pretty Boy?
No, well, your son, Jamie. You know, love playing with him. That was I think an AC/DC thing with James Morley and stuff.
Yeah, that was awesome. I wish that I knew as much as what I know now. I mean, you know, yeah. But anyway, you got to learn somewhere.
Yeah.
Threw myself under the bus and dig your way out.
Yeah. Other jobs in your life?
Oh, you look in between bands and whatever. Yeah, I've driven trucks and laid bricks and plastered shit on walls and
done whatever needs to be done.
Done whatever you need to put. I mean, there's not much of me, but I used to be a bit, you know, in the day. You know what I mean? Nowadays, so yeah, I've done quite a few other bits and pieces. You know?
And now you're living York?
York. I'm living up in York. Bought a nice little property up there, and
how are you finding that?
Fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, it's really
driving the tractor around the.
I drive the tractor. I had a lot of the Italian boys come up there, I don't know, a couple of 3 months ago. Nunzio Mondeo and Sammy Passaro and that.
Yeah.
I bought like a little go-kart.
Yeah.
It's got like 2 seats on it. You know, from the grandkids come up, you can run, go in the paddock and go to. So we managed and we got Sammy Passaro into this. So we're just tootling around all right, and Sammy's going, yeah, well, this is sort of pretty, take a drive around the paddock and all this. And I shouted out to Nuns, I said, mate, turn the video on. I'll just give it to her. Sammy's screaming like a girl he was. But he really was funny. But yeah, we had a really good day out with the boys that day. We're going to do it more often, yeah.
Do you listen to music a lot?
I do. Every day I go down into my new workshop, and workshop come woodworking, come metal, come audio, come classic car collection, and I do every day. I listen to a lot of, with the COVID and that going on sort of thing, you know, there hasn't been a great deal going on. I mean, the last few months, the phone's been ringing again and whatever. And I go down there and I've got, I wouldn't say thousands, but probably hundreds and hundreds of recordings. Most shows that I do, I record it.
Yeah.
And
I know.
Yeah. Well, I put that in the auto get rid of, but it took all the guitar off it. There's a new program you can put it in.
It gets rid of the guitar.
It gets rid of all the shit and live recordings and your guitar. So I got Slim Jim to overdub it. Was that all right?
Mate, that was fine.
Yeah, that was,
He can play.
Well done.
Well done.
So I've just been going through a lot of old recordings and picking out bits of cream, what's there and there. I thought, I'll just make up a disc of all the bits and pieces on. I thought I'll just put it on one disc, and I'm probably up to about 7.
Wow.
You know, some good bits are there. You know, when you actually sit down and listen and analyse, it might only be a raging solo from, you know, John Mayer or Dave Hole or whoever, and you think, mate, and I'll just take that bit and, you know, and the next song might be an absolute pile of poop. You think, how does that work? That sounds like gold, but the song before it, and you think, well, I haven't done anything. So obviously it's the band that really lock in and
you're
really
right.
Makes it really makes it happen.
Exactly right. Right. So who's your favourite band of all time?
I don't mind a bit of the old Tower of Power.
Tower
of Power. I mean, I don't mind a bit of Akadaka. I don't mind a bit of Burt Bacharach. I mean,
Everything.
You know, right across the board, I probably couldn't listen to anything for more than an hour.
You drove here from York.
Yeah.
So who were you listening to in your car on the way here?
Darren Reed at Coolin.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was making sure the overdub was done properly. Yeah. Oh, whatever's in the box there, you know, I just listen to them and try and sort of, you know, even still analyse them, what could be better in regards to my side of things, and maybe I like to give a copy to the band and have a listen, not about me, about everybody. You know, you could trim things up, a couple of bum notes there, maybe you didn't realise that you were playing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and some of it, you know, where you're listening to the recording and you go, where's my guitar? And then Jimmy Williams finally brings it up and you go, oh, there it is. He did.
Yeah, but I didn't want to hear it before. I mean, you're playing an Angels song, it's a long line. Well, you've got to put a little bit of guitar in. You know, or you're playing an Akadaka song, you've got to bring the guitar up a little bit. You know what I mean? But if they're not them songs, get rid of them. You know what I mean? You got to learn. You got to learn how to pick the best out of a song, the best players. You know what I mean?
Oh, why did I even start this? You know.
So, is the money in the bank yet, or what?
I don't know. Darren pays you. I don't.
I'm talking about this show that we're on.
Well, we don't have any money. We spent it all.
leave it up to me. I'll get something going
Will
for
you?
you. Right.
Because we need some money, I tell you.
That's all right.
So, what's favourite band, Perth band you saw live?
Favourite Perth band I saw? Like,
Yeah,
what,
either
recently or ever?
Well, well, forever. Either mixed or just went and saw, or...
3 strikes and you're out too, Jim. You say Derek.
He still hasn't said fuck yet. But anyway.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. I mean, I enjoyed working with Jets. I thought they were a great
Yep.
band. You know, in their day. I mean, Frames were a great band. I mean,
Yep.
V Capri were a great band. You know.
Well, he's
Is
nodding
that all right,
his head
boss?
there. He's
You know,
saying the
I'm-
right things here in this room, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've seen Angels live.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. They punched out after the PA at the Charles there. Yeah, Aussie Crawl. I mean, yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
all them Men at Work and
Yeah.
all great bands. I mean, don't want to sound disrespectful, but, you know, there doesn't seem like, you know, in them days you could go and watch 100, 120
Yeah.
bands or duos on a night. Nowadays, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, because, you know, I had an install in a couple of pubs there over a couple of 3 years, so you're getting all them, you know, won't mention his name again, but bands coming through, and you think, well, is that it?
Yeah.
You know, where's the, you know, nobody pays to go in anymore, you know, so, you know, John Starr's doing good, he's bringing acts over,
Yep.
you know, and he charges, done a show there at the North Shore the other day with James Morley and his lovely wife, Bloom, I think she goes on.
Well, they're not
Terrific.
married yet.
Eh?
Well, they're not married yet.
Oh, well, you can tell him. He told me it was his partner, his
Well,
lover.
Yeah, not his wife.
Oh, okay. Is there a...
What?
What? I don't know. Anyway, Dunn there. Great act. Lovely,
Yeah.
lovely band. Lovely. I thought, I would pay to go and see something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Because it's well rehearsed, it's well thought
Yeah, yeah.
through, very professional.
Yeah.
You know, so that was good.
No, I played with Amanda and James quite a few
Yeah.
times, and yeah, they're always
They
great.
think very highly of you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, let's move on to something else.
Okay.
What's the best venue you've ever worked in?
What, for audio, you mean?
Well, just the best venue for, I don't know, there might have been more girls. I don't know if you want to talk about girls or,
You're talking
or
about
audio.
the
I thought
band
we were-
or girls?
Well, just the best venue. What?
Oh, well, I
You
mean,
know,
you know, the Childs was always a good old
Yeah.
rocker. I mean, the
Yeah.
Raffles, the Overflow, Morley Park, they were all reasonable
Yeah.
sorts of venues. I mean, done the last show with Beach Boys in at the Dome before they knocked it down. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a shocking,
Oh, terrible sounding.
you know, there's
venue,
that
wasn't
Irish bloke in there, Rick O'Shea, all the time in there,
Yeah.
and he just pings off everything.
it? Yeah,
and
yeah.
You can't do much about it. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, outdoor shows are basically outdoor. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
they're- if you get a nice, I mean, I saw Steely Dan at the Sandalford Winery there, I think the first time they come out, and it was a lovely balmy night. Mate, sounded like a record, you know, sounded like a record.
Yeah.
So, but that wind comes up, you know, it just blows everything away. So outdoor is fantastic if
Yeah.
there's no wind, you know.
Yeah. Who's the best lighting guy you've ever worked with?
But probably Meeks. I used to do lights actually.
Oh, really?
I got nominated for the Rock
Did you
Awards,
really?
and I've still got the brochure. Yeah, best
Okay.
lighting guy, Jim Williams.
Yeah.
No, they'd have to go with Tim Bradsmith. I
Oh,
think.
really?
Yeah. Yeah. So he tells me. I mean,
Wonderful guy.
I only worked with him once down in Coolin there a few weeks ago, and he,
Really?
he
Is that
was, he was
that's
all
not
right.
the first time you've worked with Tim, surely?
Yeah,
Really?
ever worked with Tim?
Wow.
Yep.
Now you know what a good light show looks like.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't looking. He told me it was a good light show, but and Pretty Boy kept saying good. You know, no, it'd have to be Timmy Bradsmith for
Yeah,
sure.
right.
He'll make. I'd rather have him with a couple of porta floods rather than somebody else with shit for days. He makes it happen. Yeah, absolutely.
So, what is the future of live music in Perth, in your opinion?
Don't really care. You know.
You don't?
No, that's not nice. Is it? What is the future of live music?
Yeah. What do you think the future is?
I don't sort of really know. Just keep trying to do what people do, and just wait for the you know, I guess you know, where is the new Slim Jims and Darrens and V Capris, and you know, I don't seem to be, you know, and Dr. Bogus and good old Alf. I
Yeah.
don't see the new
Entertainers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the packages, the full packages,
yeah.
you know, coming through the entertainers with reasonable music. I don't know. I don't see, or unless it is there, but it's in a different genre maybe. I don't know. A lot of guys, you know, they just say, oh, you sell your ass to radio and we want to do our own thing. Oh, I understand that and sort of get it. But so, I don't know, something will happen sooner or later, I guess, you know.
Is the what's the question here? Is the sound sort of thing in Perth? Is it clicky? Is there options for people to?
You mean audio guys?
Yeah, audio. Yeah.
Well,
Or just the audio companies. you know.
Well, there's
Do they all hate each other, or do they love each other, or does everyone work together? Or
Well, there's probably only one audio company sort of left.
yeah,
Really, I mean, Neil sort of sold out and thought, well, it's maybe time to move on for whatever reason. Great audio guy, great company, done good business. I'm sure there's probably a few other ones out there, but I don't think there's too many companies that, you know, go to the Perth Arena or places like that, you know.
So they've obviously been in a lot of pain the last 2 years with COVID. But
they would have been for sure, and I take my hat off to them, you know what I mean. But I don't know, shit happens, and I suppose you have to adapt to the situation, like so many companies, and whether it be hotels or whatever, and they've had to adapt. Otherwise, they and I think a lot of them now are sort of realising. I hope it doesn't happen, but thinking, well, why should we spend money on bands when we've adapted and we're still here and we're still doing all right? You know? So I hope that doesn't happen. So I hope the doors do reopen for acts and so forth. But yeah, no, I mean, it's the old saying, rock and roll never dies, but it goes through its phases. You know, you had the bands and discos and duffs and all that. I think we're maybe coming up for maybe another reshuffle. I don't I don't really know. I don't knock myself out anymore about it because I just do selective gigs whenever I want to sort of go and do them, you know what I mean?
Is that an Armani jacket you're wearing, Jim?
You saw the label. Yes.
So where did you pinch that from? What?
And my wife got it at the Hock Shop, $3.50.
Wow.
Thank you, my darling. I better say hi to my lovely wife. And,
please.
And
the kids, grandkids.
And my kids, yeah. I've got a lovely wife. She's put up with me nearly 50 years.
Yep.
Got two lovely kids, Jamie and Edwina.
Yep.
They've both given me two lovely grandchildren.
Yep.
J-boy, 100 kilos, 6'3". Where does that come from? I don't know. And
Not from here.
and lovely Layla, his sister.
Beautiful.
And Edwina, she's doing really, really well in her business. And little Willie and Charlotte, she's a champion dancer. Your lovely husband, Wes, is a senior firefighter, Wes.
Wow.
And Jamie's partner, Danielle.
Yeah.
Love her to bits. She's a carer and that. So, I love my kids and grandkids and awesome. Yeah, they're good mates of mine, not just kids. I can sit down and talk to them about anything now.
It's
They're
great,
good kids. Yeah, absolutely.
It's good getting old in one way, isn't it?
It is in one way. I mean, I've embraced it. You know, I
same.
don't mind saying to anybody, oh, look, excuse me, mate, can you give an old boy a name? Yeah, no worries, mate. You know what I mean? You know, so... Can you speak up a bit? Is this microphone still working? Click, 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 click. Talking about microphones, Mark, can you put a bit more on my monitor down here? It's starting to go. The monitor's clicking a bit, I think. So just being a dick.
Best drummer in the world?
Well, I mean...
Apart from your good self.
Apart from myself, yeah, exactly. Well, it's funny, but I remember reading something many, many years ago. I think it was in the Playboy magazine, for argument's sake, and they went and saw this guy and that guy, and they all said, who's the best drummer? Shit, I forget his name now. Brr, it'll come to me anyway.
You played that.
Blah, 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 who's the best drummer? Yeah, he is. And they went to him, and they said, who's the best drummer? He said, I am. Oh, geez, his name's gone. Buddy Rich. They said, yeah, Buddy Rich. And they went and asked Buddy Rich. He said, I am. So yeah, I'll have to sort of agree with that. Yeah. But after seeing Dave Weckl live doing a little trio, and Billy Cobham and another guy called Virgil Donati, I think.
Virgil, yeah.
Oh, mate, yeah. I mean, you couldn't call yourself a drummer compared to... No, Ricky Whittley, he's not a bad bloody The
Good on you,
octopus,
mate.
he's
Yeah,
not a
Rick-
bad sort of bloody
yeah.
monster.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
I used to give him lessons back in the day.
Did
but
you?
Yeah.
We won't
He
mention
won't
that.
admit it, you know.
No. Rick would never admit anything. So let's go sideways a bit. Favourite TV show growing up?
Well, I never come to this country till I was about, I think, 15. So really never used to watch
No?
TV. Was always out playing cricket or football or whatever. But when I come to Oz, I suppose there was a bit of a funny one there called F Troop. I think it was
F Troop.
bloody...
Not Skippy? You didn't get into Skippy?
Well, I had seen Skippy, but I mean, you say favourite TV show when I was growing up. I mean, what's grown up, you know?
Oh, when you were growing up, you
Yeah.
know, like, still there.
Well, it never stopped growing, I
No,
suppose. You
that's
know what I mean?
right.
But yeah, F Troop was a bit of
Yeah.
a gag, you know, bit of a blast. Yeah.
So you're growing your hair currently.
Well, I was wanting to look like a rock star
Yeah.
again, but most
you
rock
look a little bit like Charlie Watts.
Well, that was my
Have you-
nickname. That was my nickname for a long time.
Yeah.
Someone said the other day, "God bless old Charlie." Has Mick rung you out? I said, "No, the bastard."
No, you'd fit in perfectly, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, that was a nickname for many years,
Yeah,
Charlie,
yeah.
as in Charlie Watts. But
Yeah.
I just thought I'd grow it a bit long like a rock star. But most of the rock stars I've been looking at nowadays, they either ain't got nowhere or they've either been down to the yeah man or.
Yeah.
But anyway.
They
I was
asked
going to
Charlie-
cut it off and make a wig for Slim Jim, I think. You know? My old mate Chubby.
They asked Charlie Watts, so can you sum up rock and roll in one word? And he said, waiting.
Yeah, waiting.
Waiting.
Yeah, he said, I've been with Rolling Stones for 50 years, spent, 6 months playing with that and waiting for 45 years for a jazz gig.
Yes.
Good on you, Charlie. Oh, yeah, great man.
So what does the future hold for you, Jimmy, as you sip on your water?
Well, obviously, if the house hangs in, I mean, I'm not far away from 70 now, and so
Don't
I
look
feel
a day
very,
over
very
69.
privileged to have got this far, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't sort of really know, just happy
Yeah.
to still doing a couple of
Yeah.
gigs here and there's a few on the books, and
Yeah.
yeah, just...
My producer keeps saying, because he's the one who started this, not one F word yet. Still.
I told you I can be quite polite,
Okay.
you know.
I mean, I let myself in for it, didn't I, by
Well,
advertising your thing. and-
but you done the right thing. You did warn people.
yeah.
You know
But
what I mean?
you haven't said anything, so all these people that have left, right, because they think you're going to just go F
Well,
this
that's
and F
their
that.
problem,
And now
isn't
I've
it?
missed out on this interview because...
Well, we can redo it again if you like.
Okay,
You
fuck
know.
it, let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Start from the top.
No, so do you have any unfulfilled ambitions?
No.
Nothing?
There's nothing chomping at the bit. But I've always wanted to do this or that. I've done lights for a long time. Oh, I played in bands and toured with bands. Well, I toured a couple of times over east. I thought, mate, that place has got knobs in it.
Yeah.
I'm bloody going up and 25. We're so lucky here, pushing boxes in and out of the truck and they're straight in. Over there, you roll up. It's like that film from Rocky, you know. You go, yeah, gotta be
Get the
kidding
boxes
me.
up there.
No ways. But
Yeah, they're all
no,
leagues clubs, aren't they?
Oh, mate, I mean, anyway, no, so I've done that. I've been sort of pretty lucky and
Yeah.
healthy and fit. You know, my family's always
Yeah, good.
backed me up and put up with a lot of shit, you know. Can't do New Year's Eve, can't do Christmas, can't do birthdays, anniversaries and all that. So
You can't? You couldn't?
I couldn't because you're always working.
Oh, no, that's right.
You know,
yeah,
I mean,
that's
back
right.
in the day,
Sorry.
you used to do bloody 10, 12, 13 gigs a week.
Yeah, my wife was asking me this year about all of that, but
Mm.
you know, I'm still doing it. So
Yeah, but you're still poor. You're not rich like me, so you've got to go and do it. You know what I mean? I have a choice. You know. What I mean?
that's right. Yeah, it's just because I love playing that I don't have a choice because I love it so much. So
That's your opinion. Yeah, I
it's
agree.
like got me by the.
Absolutely, mate. If you got that you want to play, same as that. I mean, I don't.
But you give up a lot.
You do
in it,
give up
in
a
the
lot,
other
but
sense.
I've managed to been there, sort of done that, not just
Yeah.
to do it to say that I've done it. It's just circumstances.
How long you been married?
I think it'd be 50 years next
Wow.
year. I think same
It's
one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
So I can't complain. I've been very lucky, and so to answer your question, no, I'm more than happy to. You know, I mean, health obviously has got a lot to do with it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I've got friends that are, you know, we all have, you know, 35, they died 40,
Yeah,
50.
yeah.
You think, wow. You
I
know.
lost another very good friend recently. Oh, many recently,
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
So what's your favourite? I've got to ask you this question. What's your favourite brand of PA, but what's your favourite box or speaker, or is it JBL? Is it
Well,
DMB? Is it?
I don't care if it's set up properly and
Yeah.
you do what, you've been dealt them cards where you got to
Yeah.
make it work as best as possible. But so I wouldn't say, I mean, obviously DMB very good, L Acoustics very good, JBL, Meyer,
They're all good
Adamson's. Yeah, I
in
mean,
there,
it's
yeah.
like, it's really who sets them up for you.
Yeah, yeah,
You're in the lap of the gods. If you're just doing a walk-in,
yeah.
you just take what you got. But
Yeah, yeah.
no, I've got a couple of EV systems still and a
Yeah.
couple of JBL systems, and I mean, I don't mind the old JBL. I mean, they're a bit barky, a bit close up, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
JBL. They're rock
Yeah,
and
yeah.
roll in your face.
You had
can't-
JBL cooling the other week, didn't you? And
Yeah,
they sounded pretty good.
mate. Well, they were rocking. I mean, I took 2 speakers out that night. I just took them to get repaired today.
I think you should tell Darren about this because, it was probably him putting the mic in the beep,
Do you
through
reckon?
your
You
speakers.
reckon he'd mind if I give him a bill?
Oh,
I mean-
I
I mean-
doubt it.
I
He's
mean-
got so much money.
It only cost me $700
Yeah.
to get them recombed. Do you think I should give him-
$700 to Darren is like probably a couple of songs.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to give him a bill for 700. I was going to give him a bill for,
$2,000.
Let me think. What would the Silver Fox do? He'd probably put about 150%. I'll settle that. Yeah,
$2,000.
$2,000.
That's your price. So
So yeah, whatever. I mean, you really are in the lap of the gods, whoever
Yeah.
sets it up for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
If you're doing that sort of a gig, yeah.
do you collect anything?
Ooh,
Come on.
cars. I like collecting cars.
What sort of cars?
Rovers,
Rovers.
English Rover cars. When I used to be a gentleman. Yeah, no, I brought one. Oh, way back. Probably the first one. It must have been. It must be over 50 years ago. An old one.
You still got it?
And no, I sold it and I traded it in on a GTR Tirana when I was a pop star, what I mean? Anyway. But no, about probably, Jesus, I don't know, maybe 30 years ago. No, I didn't actually. I brought one from the Rover car yard. What they used to be? Falls, the proper.
All right.
I brought one from there, and it was a 1969 Rover 2000. I was going to buy the V8, but I couldn't afford the insurance. I thought, nah. So I brought the 4-cylinder. I've still got that car today.
Really?
I've still got. It's a 1969. I bought it in 1975, and I've still got it today, locked up in the shed. And anyway, I ended up with a collection of about 25 of them, and I was
Rovers?
I was a president of the Rover Car Club there for
How
quite
boring.
a few
Ken.
years.
Oh,
And
seriously?
blah, blah, blah. And when I shifted up to York, I flicked a few emails off to Rover dealers and parts places in England, expression of interest, do you want parts or whatever? And one bloke rang me up and said no. I said, okay. The other mob didn't get back to me, so I rang him. I said, mate, da-da-da-da-da. I said, look, you got on your website, there's like $600 for a bumper. I said, you got none in stock. I said, I got 50 of them here. Give me a carton of beer, I'll send them over to you. They weren't interested, so I threw them all down the tip.
Really?
I threw about 20 of them down the tip, and I took just a handful with me and a container full of.
What I would
Panels and
give
parts?
to have a Rover, Jim.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, next time you come up, I'll take you for a drive.
Thank you.
Mate.
Okay.
And it's called a tractor Rover, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, I collected them for years, but got to
would-
do what you got to do.
What would you put on your gravestone?
On my gravestone, shit, I don't know. Be kind to your mum and have a good laugh. I think have a good laugh.
Be kind to your mum.
Be kind to
definitely.
your mum and
Yeah.
and have a good laugh. I think. Yeah.
And you've always had a good laugh. I've always.
I take my job very, very seriously, but I like to have a good
You
laugh.
love
as
laying
well.
shit on people.
I
so-
do, but we have a good banter and that, and it makes the gig go happy and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
You can make the act feel comfortable, like
Yeah.
they come on and think, oh, Jimmo, do you think I'm loud enough or whatever, and just settle them down, because you know the energy's coming in and the nerves are, mate, just you do what you do and I'll do what we do and we'll
Yeah.
have a good gig, and we do.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's because it's the guitarist and I've got to get on the,
Well,
turn that
It's always
guitar
been.
down.
It's always been my pressure working with you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
right.
want to sort of, put you down here or anything, mate, but
Mate, go for it.
no, you're all right.
it's-
You're all
it's
right. I'll say on camera, Gaz is all right. That's what we mean by having a laugh.
I'll pay you that that money later.
Yeah, that's right. I've already got it. Trust
yeah.
me.
You got it already.
I went through your pocket already.
So is there something we don't know about you?
Oh, what,
You want to share with us?
Personally?
Well, whatever.
Know about me?
Is there
No,
something
not really.
you want to share with us? That,
Not,
no?
no, I don't think so. I can't think of anything that, you know, I mean, no.
No?
I did walk into a room once and saw, no, I better not say
No, come on.
who they were.
Have you got any, what's your most exquisite story that you don't, you know, like you can't really mention about
But you
people,
want me to.
But I want you to.
It's not going to happen, mate. What happens on the road stops on the road, you know what I mean?
You can't like use pseudonyms or...
You what?
You know, pseudonyms, you know, like...
I don't know what that words mean. I'm only
Okay.
just a poor, you know, left school at 12 years old, you know what I mean?
Well, you know, you talk about something but you don't actually say who it is, you know, like...
Oh, tell stories, but don't mention who the names are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went into the back room once and two guys were well known. One was a bit bored and one was an Italian guy, but I mean, I can't sort of mention their name. But
What were they doing? Boom, 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 boom.
I don't know.
Oh,
Oh, only joshing. Sorry, Slim. No, I was only joshing. He won't mind me saying, you know.
Oh, I love it.
You know,
love
he's
it.
down to about 85 kilos. I might have a chance there to get on him, you know. He might send his brother around, but anyway.
Ah, don't worry about him. You'll be
No,
all
I'm
right.
not worried about him.
You got Spot the dog. He'll
Spot the
look
dog,
after
yeah.
you.
Good old Charlie. You're doing
Yeah,
well, mate.
yeah.
Are you asleep yet or what? I think everybody else is.
Mate, thanks for coming in.
Pleasure, Phil. Very privileged.
Thank
Very
you so
privileged
much.
to be asked and
Thank you.
what have you. Yeah, no, it's been a, I don't know, let the audience make their mind up, you know. See how many, what do you sort of computer, sort of digital people look
we
for
have
the hits? Do they
probably
call it hits?
2,000 or 3,000 hits a show, and
Oh, you might get a
hopefully
handful.
you'll get 30 or 40.
Is that good or what?
Well, would be for you, I think.
Would it be all right for me?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
No, look, all jokes aside, I've always respected you, always enjoyed working with you, and yeah, it's great to sit here and talk to you.
Pleasure. It's been a
Thank-
pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
That's it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much.
You all come back now.
At ProCopy, we can transfer audio to CD, make CD, DVD and Blu-ray copies, transfer video to DVD, Blu-ray or HD, digitise slides and photos and supply custom USBs. You can see more details at procopy.com.au or call us on 08 9375 3902 for more information.